Johnny Bravo kicking by the beach bar. TJ making.
I think one of the things that killed the hype for Cosmic Shake was the fact they announced it and then a year went by before they did anything. I reckon their goal, because like they've done as well as they can game design, I think. Like Cosmic Shake, there was nothing wrong with that should have impeded its sales so much. It was the advertising that went wrong. And I think they're going to have learned from that. I think they're going to try and do some type of like media blitz of trailers out, games coming out in 2 months. We've got like YouTubers on. We've got like early live streams. We've brought what's his name? That speed. We've brought speedrunners back on like Shift. We've got all these guys doing stuff for it. We're doing like signings in New York. Like they're just going to go like hard for 2 months. Spend like $100,000, like the majority of their budget.
We're going to go to the stock market, and we're going to bring SpongeBob with us. And
we've got the new SpongeBob tariff, guys, and then I reckon that's going to be their goal, is to do like a media blitz, because doing the long run of announce it and wait a year, give you a little bit, wait 6 months, give you a little bit more, release game, did not work.
It worked for Battle for
game.
Bikini Bottom because everyone knew what it was. And also, I feel like part of the reason Cosmic Shake didn't perform as well is because it was a new game. And unfortunately, I think Writers made a video about this like a year or two ago, where it's like, people don't seem to really want the new thing so much as just what they already know. They want the comfort food. I think that's part of the reason why it performed less, is because it was new. And I mean, I'm guilty of it. I paid for it, but it was new, and I was like, I don't know if I like this, and I didn't play it. Yeah. And then I came back to it a couple years later and was like, oh, this is actually really good. So I don't know if they really put a lot in the advertising, it could do well. Knowing Nickelodeon,
yeah,
I don't
think they're going to put more money into it. I think they're just going to consolidate it all into like one big blast. But here's my other speculation: Rehydrated worked because they advertised to everyone. Cosmic Shake, they tried to advertise to kids.
Did they?
Cosmic, remember it?
To be honest with you, I don't remember much about Cosmic Shake's like advertising.
Remember with Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, they had all the they were advertising. They were involved in YouTubers who were doing the whole nostalgia thing, and their ads, they were focusing on. This was played by older people, and now he's handing the controller to his son, and the son's also playing the game. They were focused on that thing of like, we are advertising to two people here, advertising to the kid that played originally, and now their child as well. They didn't do that with Cosmic Shake. I reckon they're going to once again advertise to a slightly older crowd of this again. They're going to focus on the memes. They're going to focus on more towards that 20-year-old and the kid type of thing. I'm just basing it off like
they should.
They're not going to take a failure of literally dropping 1 million less. They sold 1 million less copies. They are not going to just like do the same thing again.
And maybe that's why it's taking longer. Maybe they're trying to figure out what they're even doing advertising wise, because it feels like with all the information that's actually out there about it, it's like you would think that they would want to get out ahead of it, but it seems like they're just kind of pretending like it isn't out there.
They're definitely holding like fast, because when the Sandy movie entirely leaked on Twitter, just the entire movie, they completely folded. They released the trailer, and I think they released the movie on Netflix like a few days later. They completely folded.
I don't think they folded with Plankton, even though it leaked in the exact same way, didn't it?
I don't know as much about Plankton, but yeah, Plankton released.
I know it
normally
like exactly the same way, and
same way,
like
wow.
year, like a solid, like maybe even more than a year before it actually officially got released.
So maybe they were like, that did not work at all with Sandy. We're just going to stay.
But the quality of Sandy just wasn't great. Like after there were people who didn't know anything about the leaks that I like follow on social media that were like, yeah, it just was not a good movie. Is what
I didn't watch it.
I didn't finish it. I watched a lot of it, and I thought it was all right. But as I got deeper into it, I was like, I don't know about this. So
well, I just come off the third movie, which I hated. I hated the third SpongeBob movie because it like the entire thing. To be honest with you, I don't remember
anything about it. I watched
the entire movie was this like buddy road trip, and the entire time Patrick and SpongeBob are arguing and making little comments to each other and like picking at each other and like pulling each other down. I'm like, that's not their relationship.
But
they
it's
don't
a road trip.
pick
That's
at
how it
each other
works.
and argue with each other. They're like,
listen, that's what happens on a road trip.
Just get angry. You don't have your Nintendo DS. You just get angry.
My Game Boy. I don't have AA batteries. They died. Help.
Sing
Speaking from experience.
99 bottles of Coke on the wall, and then 99 bottles of whatever you prefer to drink on the wall. Yeah, like I said, I don't remember much about the third movie. I watched it. I remember the advertising for it. They pushed it hard. It didn't make an impact. And also, like, was the guy in the movie supposed to be Neptune? I don't remember.
No, that was Poseidon.
It felt like they were just doing, part of the problem with that movie is they were just doing things that the show and the other movies had already done. It felt like it was just kind of a retreadable ground, except now 3D. And it was also really more of an advertisement for Camp Coral. Let's be real.
That's right. That's what it was doing as well. That's the other reason why I hated it.
Yeah.
That was one of the big
And
issues.
Camp Coral's all right. I've watched some of Camp Coral.
I haven't actually watched any of it. I've just seen
that
the
can be a
little, like,
whole
clips.
thing we do.
Yeah.
It's all right, but it has that same problem that modern SpongeBob has, where it's self-referential.
So I've done my spiel, but I reckon it's going to be Sonic Unleashed. What do you think we might see in this new game?
Well, like I said, I kind of mentioned it before. I think it's going to be Cosmic Shake 2, very, very much so. I feel like it's going to be very similar gameplay loop. And then, like we said, taking the two characters and giving them different abilities. I mean, obviously it's going to be ghosts and stuff, so it does make sense, like you said, maybe it releases on Halloween. Although sometimes when things are clearly meant to, like, if you aren't releasing this on Halloween, you're making a mistake, and they don't do it. Like freaking Disney releasing the Haunted Mansion smack in the middle of summer or whatever the heck they did with that movie. That was weird. That was not a summer movie, Disney.